The Kuang Sui is also known as Tat Kuang Sui Waterfall in northern Laos falls firmly into the latter. In fact, this large cascade of pale turquoise blue water that tumbles from the thick jungle above into perfectly sculpted limestone-tiered pools might just be the ultimate highlight of any trip to Laos. There's a reason that Kuang Sui is ranked as one of the best things to do in Luang Prabang. Adding the falls to your Laos itinerary is one of the greatest travel decisions you'll make, while this ultimate guide will make the planning all the easier. The best part about the Kuang Sui Falls is that in addition to being mind-blowingly beautiful, you can also take a dip in those same tiered pools of turquoise blue water. There are a few pools you can swim in at the main area, but please be a respectful traveler and take note of the signs saying no swimming in certain areas, as some pools are considered sacred by the local population. The same also goes for the so-called Kuang Sui Waterfall secret pool, that's gained cult popularity online. It's marked by numerous do not enter signs both for your safety, and because if a local specifically asks you not to go somewhere, you probably should listen. The pools near the picnic area have changing rooms. Make sure you change into appropriate clothing again post-swim. Lao culture is quite conservative, and they also have rope swings and a tree you can jump into the pools from. For the most part, visitors to the falls will congregate around the lower pools and picnic area, venturing perhaps as far as the small wooden bridge that offers stunning and unobstructed views of the main waterfall. But by only going this far, they're definitely missing out on what is probably the most epic view of all. Search to the left of the wooden footbridge and you'll eventually uncover the almost hidden steps that lead the way to the top. The hike up will take about 15 minutes and isn't too taxing in terms of steepness, however you may find the terrain a little tricky. The steps are without railings, and there's water flowing over it in some parts. The tricky hike up is totally worth the views though. On a clear day you'll find yourself looking right out over the breathtaking Lao countryside. And while the noisy crowds clamor around the big falls below, up here there's nothing except the peaceful trickle of flowing water, a couple of small pools to take a cool dip in, season-dependent beautiful forest with twisting tree roots, and a small picnic area to relax at. Once you're done taking in the views, head for the path to the right to make your way back down again. It's smooth, steep, and step-free, which makes climbing down easier, and climbing up near impossible. There is a restaurant nearby. You can also pack your own lunch, or picking some up at the market outside, and enjoying your own picnic with a waterfall view. There are plenty of picnic tables on the lower levels, that are perfect for a mid-afternoon snack stop and relax before continuing your explorations. One of the most breathtaking views of the falls is from the wooden footbridge that stretches out above the lower pools. Kuang Sui takes center stage, a powerful 50 meters drop of cascading blue water tumbling over the yellow stones. It's also as close as you can get to the falls, and gives everyone the opportunity to snap an Instagram-worthy photo without a million people or infrastructure in front of it. As you enter and exit the Kuang Sui Waterfall, you'll do so via the local market that's sprung up next to the parking area. The delicious smell of barbecue will tempt you to all sorts of tasty treats, while a cold beer Lao or Namkong can always be found. You'll also find lots of local souvenir and handicraft shops here, along with a couple of small bars. The best time to visit Kuang Sui Falls is from December through to April-May, when the monsoon season has finished and the cascading pools have settled again. During these months, the water flows over the limestone rocks more slowly, collecting traces of limestone as it goes and giving it that beautiful turquoise color you see in the photos. Obviously, this is also the peak tourist season, so try to get there early on a weekday to avoid the crowds. Outside of the peak times, like during Laos monsoon season from July to October, heavy rains transform the falls from the calm, picturesque scene we all recognize from the photos to thundering rapids that are a muddy coffee color instead. Swimming is impossible, hiking is dangerous, and the only real positive is the lack of crowds. As with most popular tourist spots, this is a place you'll want to come early to beat the busloads of tourists that will arrive throughout the day. We arrived around 10 a.m. and had the falls almost to ourselves for quite some time. By 1 p.m., the crowds had well and truly arrived and the place was bustling beyond comprehension. Want to have a refreshing dip without being crammed in like sardines, take epic shots without anyone in, or just enjoy the serenity of the area? Get there as early as possible, and ideally, on a weekday. Just 23 kilometers outside of Luang Prabang, it takes about 45 minutes to get to Kuang Sui from the center of town. Getting to the falls is exceptionally easy and accessible, with plenty of transport options available depending on your budget, adventure level, and how active you want to be. There's no accommodation near Kuang Sui Falls, which means that most people opt to stay in Luang Prabang and take a day trip from there to the falls.